Morning, class 9. Earlier we have done 12. You have learned about soil. Now we will do natural vegetation. What is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation is vegetation that grows without human aid. That means human beings do not help them to grow. They grow naturally. In our country, there are about 47,000 species of plants, which can be classified into several types. Such types of vegetations are characteristics using their regional distributions. Here, in this version of the India chapter, we will learn about the conservation of the forest and what are the importance to conserve, why it is important to conserve forest, and what types of vegetation is found in which part of the country. So, forest, it is a nature gift. It grew by itself. It has its own beauty and grandeur and fascinates man. Many people like to visit forest and see the beauty of the forest. Forests are sources of energy. As you have heard that Amazon forest is the biggest source of oxygen. Why? Because this forest, they have plants, and we know that plants gives us oxygen and purifies the air. So these are the great source of energy. It have always occupied important place in Indian cultures. You can see in many of our festivals we do worship plants because of its greenery and lifelong expense. In everybody's household, we can find tulsi. We worship tulsi. But do you know why do we Indians worship tulsi? Because it is an purifying thing. If we worship a tulsi and plant a tulsi in our courtyard, then if we will try our full best to keep it alive as we are devoted to it, so it will remain green and the air around it will always be purified. Not only that, tulsi itself is great healer. It heals many things. Our internal body and our external bodies are also held by tulsi. So, in our culture, plants are, it was a small example. Other plants are also there that we do worship, that is banyan tree, but we do not plant it in our courtyard. That's why I have made you understand with the example of tulsi. Now, what does it do? It controls the temperature and brings rain. That is the biggest thing. Next, it stops soil erosion because the roots of the plant, they hold the mud and soil erosion doesn't occur. It improves the fertility of the soil. How? By providing compost. Now, how are they providing compost? Now, the plant which is been standing there for years, the leaves of that plant are falling down, the fruit, it is holding fruit, those fruits leaves are coming down, then those leaves and other particles, they are reducing into soil and staying there only on beside the roots and the area up till how much the tree is surrounded. So it is giving compost to the soil by getting it as the leaves are drying and dying there only. They provide medicinal herbs. Most trees, like I told, tulsi is an essential herb. So most of the trees have their own values. Some trees are not good for health, but some are good for health, like ashok, neem, banyan tree. Banyan tree is traditionally, neem gives us many things. So these trees are good for medicines. Eucalyptus. Apart from this, trees also provides a timber for our household things to be made and for firewood. They also supply fodder for the cattle. And not only this, plants, this forest, they are the habitat of the wildlife habitat there. It is the house of the wild. So it is our duty to maintain the forest so that animals can live there without any fear. They maintain ecological balance is maintained due to this forests. To maintain ecological security, fuel, fodder and domestic needs of the population for the developing different small scale industries and large scale industries, forest needs to be conserved and protected. There are different measures that have been adopted to conserve the forest, like prohibition of indiscriminate deforesting, reducing or felling off premature trees. That means we will not cut down trees which is not mature. That means which are not grown up. We should use alternative sources instead of fuel goods. Prevention of forest fire. The one, as you have heard about Amazon, so such forest fire should be prevented. Chemically and biologically, the forest should be controlled from getting diseases and not allowing cattle to overgraze the soil. Afforestation or reforestation is very important. Without it, forest cannot be conserved. Adoption of forest management should also be done by common people, as it was done by the Chipko Andak. And lastly, people's participation. If people do not participate in it, they will not understand the importance of forest. Then they will keep on cutting down a forest and making our important natural resources to be diminished. So better people understand and make them understand what forest is, how is it is important for us, how it helps us, and what does it gives us. Okay, thank you.